May 6th. We'll take this.
About time.
Yeah. There's Mark Kotze. He's the new Oakland manager. And the A's come into this series with a 6-game losing streak. The Menards batting order for the Athletics. Sheldon Noisy leading things off, then Jed Lowry, Sean Murphy, Stephen Piscotty, Chad Pinder, Kevin Smith, Elvis Andrus, Kristen Pache, and Tony Kemp.
And home furniture, starting pitcher stats. Take a look at Josh Winder. Very good his last time out in his first major league start. He pitches backwards, and by that I mean he uses the off speed to set up the fastball. Even though the fastball is sitting in the mid-90s, we saw him 96 quite a few times in his last start. He's going to use that slider a lot. That's his primary pitch. Then he'll mix in the changeup, the curveball, but he looked so comfortable out there. Didn't look like a guy who was making that first major league start. And I think part of it, the fact that they broke him in with some relief appearances, they got him comfortable on a major league mound. But he did a tremendous job last time out, and look forward to seeing how he follows that up.
6 innings, 83 pitches. The Twins will take that again tonight if they can get it from Winder, taking on an Oakland team that we said has started out actually heading in the opposite direction of the Twins. The Twins started out 4-8. The A's started out 8-4, but now it's been a tough week. We'll check out the Twins Northland Ford defense. In the outfield, Trevor Larnach in left, Gilberto Celestino in center, and Max Kepler in right. And all eyes will be at the shortstop position. Royce Lewis's major league debut, joined up the middle by Polanco, Urshela, and Miranda on the corners. Gary Sanchez behind the plate. And you brought up an interesting point as we were getting ready here. It was Sanchez who caught Winder's first start in St. Petersburg. And I would imagine Royce Lewis wants the first ball hit to him, wouldn't you think?
Knowing Royce and knowing the way things work, you want to get involved in the play as soon as you can. And that seems to erase the nerves, if there is any, right away.
1 strike to Sheldon Noisy. And in there for strike 2. We saw a lot of that in St. Petersburg. Winder getting ahead, staying ahead.
Pitching up with that fastball, using the top of the zone, working to different areas. Command was good.
Fouled away. Look at the Twins rotation, and it was remade on the fly, if you will, after the lockout. Winder new to the rotation. Everybody new to the rotation from a year ago. And within that, there have been some injuries. Sonny Gray with a hamstring strain. Ober's missed some time now on the injured list. And there's the first ball hit to Lewis. Perfect. Just exactly what he wanted. A routine play.
I was just going to say a little 3-hopper. You get to charge it a little bit. But past the first test. There you go. Come and get it. Just like over in St. Paul or down in Fort Myers or a high school field you grew up on. Come and get it. Get your feet. Get a good grip. Make a good throw. And now settle in.
I think the last time I said that on a broadcast, it came to be as well, only it was a routine 2-hopper to Tsuyoshi Nishioka, and the outcome wasn't the same.
Yeah, that was a tough start.
1 strike to Lowry. Lowry and a few other veterans on this Oakland team, but it has been rebuilt. 1-1.
Yeah. 3 of the players you traded for Chapman are on this roster here playing tonight, so it's you made some moves for some guys that were close to major league level or the major league level.
Down and in.
Traded a ton of talent off this team. We've seen them do that before. They've, very similar to what Tampa does. Grow players, trade for players, get them up to a certain level in the major leagues, and then flip them for prospects and hope the turnaround happens quick. It's worked in the past.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. Last year, the A's won the season series 5-1. Twins had a heartbreaking series in Oakland in the middle of April. Swing and a miss. Winder has his first strikeout. 2 away.
Well, good start. Some swing and miss right there. That ball center cut. But it's got some life to it. Just beat him through the zone, swung under it. I think the pace that he works with, the composure that he shows, he never seems like he gets too up, too down out there on the mound.
Sean Murphy down and away. And now 2-0. Beautiful weather here, but not across baseball. 6 postponements tonight on the major league schedule. 15 games originally scheduled.
We got out of Baltimore right in time.
We got out of Baltimore just in time, yes. 40% of the games postponed because of weather. And now missing 3-0 with Stephen Piscotty on deck.
And after what we dealt with here, it's nice to see that we've got a perfect day for a baseball game.
Supposed to be just gorgeous tomorrow afternoon. Still warm, chance of rain maybe on Sunday. 95. Wasn't just a get me over fastball. He had a little something on it for a called strike.
A little movement on the end as well.
Pop foul, backing out of play. Three and two. Winder trying to wind up a clean 1-2-3 first inning. Got him. A breaking ball on 3-2. A couple of strikeouts, part of a 1-2-3 first inning. Past Jace Tingler, the bench coach, is acting as manager again tonight. And here is his Menards batting order. Byron Buxton in the lineup as the designated hitter. Jorge Polanco. Gary Sanchez moving up to third. Then Urshela, Kepler, and Miranda. Royce Lewis hitting seventh. And Trevor Larnach and Gilberto Celestino.
Furniture, starting pitcher stats. Zach Logue will be making his first major league start. He does have one major league appearance. As you see right there, an inning and a third. He's going to run a fastball, changeup, slider, curveball. Not going to overpower you with the fastball. It's going to be right around 90, 91 miles an hour.
And missing inside to Byron Buxton. Buxton with a 2-run home run last night. Gave the Twins a very brief lead. 8 home runs on the year. Inside again.
I think the Twins have the same type of approach they had against lefty Fleming when they were down in Tampa. Similar stuff as far as velocity goes from this lefty. So we saw a lot of opposite field hits in that game.
Cut on and fouled.
So the approach was simple. You know, a guy not throwing too hard. He wants to feed off your aggressiveness. He wants to work around the edges. He wants you to let you get yourself out. So you're able to kind of go have those team at bats one after another, make them throw the ball over. Hopefully it'll be a good day for the Twins.
2-1. 3-1 Polanco on deck.
And we saw the inning in the third. He went back down to the minor leagues, made some starts, so he's built up. He threw 87 pitches in his last AAA start, so he's able to go. He's not going to be a short start guy unless you make him.
3-2.
So if the Twins are able to hit him around a little bit, maybe we'll see a shorter start, but I think there's no restrictions on him. So see how these guys go through the first time, how aggressive they are, if they're trying to set him up, trying to see some pitches, a guy that none of these Twins hitters have seen before. Or you just go get him.
And Buxton will take a walk to start the ball game. We'll bring up Polanco as we take a look at the A's out in the field, brought to you by Northland Ford. Chad Pinder gets left field. Christian Pache in center. Stephen Piscotty in right field. Kevin Smith at third. Elvis Andrus, the veteran shortstop, is in the lineup. Tony Kemp at second. Noisy at first, and Sean Murphy behind the plate. Here is Polanco. And another miss, 1-0.
Well, a lineup this deep, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble if you're not working ahead, and if you're walking guys, especially if you're walking guys like Buxton that can run.
Drawing a lot of attention. In reality, he hasn't done any base stealing since he injured his knee in Boston. And a strike, 1-1. One of the elements you mentioned it in the pregame show. Royce Lewis brings a lot of speed into the lineup, and if he can get on base, we'll see him steal some bases, perhaps.
Yeah, and he's run in AAA. I think trying to prove maybe to himself and everyone else that the knee is healthy, that he feels good. You got him hitting 7th in this ball game, so you're kind of breaking him in. You got to line up with some depth. You got some veteran guys there. Hopefully by the time he gets up there, hopefully in the first inning, you've scored a few runs and not much pressure on him.
Base hit right field. Buxton will round second and hold up there. Piscotty's got a good arm in right field, and so the Twins take the walk, get the base hit. They're 2 aboard now for Sanchez.
That's a thing of beauty right there. It's almost right on cue as to what I was talking about from that start in Tampa, where it's like every second hit was to the opposite field. This ball even a little bit off the plate, but Polanco just real simple, head down. You try and pull that ball, you try and pull in the air, that's a rollover, possibly a double play, but he just goes with the pitch. Now you got yourself a threat.
Well, 2 aboard now for Sanchez, moved up to 3rd in the lineup. And the inning has started as the Twins had hoped. Big pop-up near the Twins dugout and out of play.
It's a good feeling to come home and know you've been playing well here. You look forward to getting home. It's a crowd's a little bigger than what we saw earlier when it was colder. People are into it. People are excited to watch Royce's debut. It's just really a good feeling when you're in first place. You come back home and just look at it. This is what you've been waiting for.
1 strike to Sanchez. And what I'm looking forward to hearing, hands clapping instead of mittens clapping.
Yep.
Bare hands clapping. 1-1. Well, we've seen him hit some fair balls hard down the pull side and some foul balls as well. He seems like, I don't know, you know better than I. He just looks like he's real close to finding it.
Yeah, he's starting to find the barrel. Now he's got to find that part of the field where some hits are available. But yeah, we saw some long foul balls in Tampa. We saw some good swings. It looks like he's getting closer and closer where he wants to be after that little layoff with that little ab injury.
Fly ball to right field. Piscotty coming in now, and he'll make the catch, and Buxton will just bluff, and Piscotty shows off his arm. 1 away. Twins won the first 2 games in Baltimore, and they lost the last 2 games largely because they hit into 7 double plays in the last 2 games of the series. So you've got an opportunity here right away in the first inning to get a big hit. See if Urshela can produce that hit, hitting cleanup. It's just hard to overcome. Hitting into 7 double plays. A little bit high, ball 1. A lot of speed at second. Pretty good speed at first. Urshela with 6 runs batted in. Foul back, 1-1.
He was on that.
See what he's done at home compared to on the road. We probably won't mind at all a nice 9-game homestand. Cut on and missed, 1-2.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle on the road. The hits were eluding him a little bit, but still making contact for the most part.
Hitless in St. Petersburg, even though the Twins won 2 out of 3. And he chases up and away, a strikeout for out number 2. And that'll bring up Kepler. Kepler might be the hottest Twins hitter over the last week and a half. And there haven't been many soft hits. The hits he's gotten have been stung pretty hard.
Yeah, he looks confident, even with that little game-and-a-half layoff, a little illness that he had, jumped right back in there. And he's been using left center well.
Cut on and miss, and I'm surprised how shallow Christian Pache is playing in center field. Look at that.
We've been up here a long time together, because I just said the exact same thing. It's shallow in center, shallow in left, pretty much straight up and right. It's a little shorter right field in this ballpark than most. Might get Burton to score a couple here if he hits it hard.
And now Logue is one good pitch away from getting out of this mess. He had Buxton on board or on base with a walk. And Polanco singled, but short fly ball, strikeout, and now ahead of Kepler 0-2. How about that? Nice job by Zach Logue, stranding both Buxton and Polanco, and we have a scoreless first inning. Sherman, ultra strong stats, couple of rookie pitchers, frankly leading the Twins rotation this year. It's been wonderful to watch. First pitch, foul ball off the bat of Piscotty, strike 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure there was a plan for him to get a second start, but he threw so well in that first one. How do you not run him back out there when that guy goes out and does what he did? You know, he's so effective. He looked so composed.
And that skips under the glove of Polanco and into center field. Piscotty will get a base hit, I suspect. And Winder will have to go from the stretch for one of the few times as a starting pitcher. He only gave up 2 hits in his first major league start.
Yeah, out front, but got the barrel to it, but not sure what happened there. Almost made the sign like he didn't really see it that well off the bat. But he'd like to have that one again. That'd go down as a hit.
There's Chad Pinder. Breaking ball dropped off the outside edge for ball 1.
So he's got that he can flip over there. Head in the count. He's got the slider as a strikeout pitch, as a swing and miss pitch. He's got plus fastball and will live in the mid-90s with it. He's got a changeup.
And there's a breaking ball in for a strike.
So he's a true starter or starter's repertoire. It's a lot harder out of the bullpen to have 4 pitches working when you're coming in to work on an inning or 2, sometimes 3. You go through your start, you set hitters up, you change the sequences, and when you have 4 pitches like he does, it's hard to key on any one thing.
On the outside edge with another off-speed pitch. Gets a glare from Pinder back to Nestor Ceja, the home plate umpire.
Just clip the corner right here. Just a perfectly placed pitch. And Sanchez does a nice job of presenting it right there.
One, 2. And a strikeout, his 3rd already in the ballgame. 1 away. In his start at St. Petersburg, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. So far in the big leagues, 17 2/3 innings and 15 strikeouts.
Yeah, and racking them up a little bit more as a starter. Working through that pitch mix. Surprising to me, the only number that's, I'd say not great maybe, as far as the results go, is his fastball's been hit pretty hard, which is surprising for a guy throwing mid to upper 90s.
Over the inside edge with another breaking ball.
You're able to get that off-speed stuff over. That's the difference between being successful and not. He's able to throw it for strike one, and he's got, you know, the one he can bury down and away or in the dirt, get that swing and miss out of the zone, but it only works when you're ahead.
That's to left. And it'll carry to Larnach for out number 2. So he threw the fastball, may have gotten in on the trademark, may have cracked his bat. But an out for out number 2, and that'll bring up Elvis Andrus. "23 pitches for Winder so far tonight, 17 strikes, a strike percentage of 74, and he was right where you'd want to be in terms of a strike percentage in St. Petersburg, 65%. Winder trying to pitch around the leadoff single. There goes the runner, Piscotty. Here's the throw from Sanchez, and off the glove of Polanco. Then it looked like it may have hit Piscotty up around the helmet. It's a stolen base for Piscotty.
Sanchez has one of the strongest throwing arms of any catcher in the big leagues. His breaking ball just let him down below the zone a little bit. And that did hit Scotty up in the, like after Polanco's glove, in the ear and the top of the helmet there.
A's are 14 out of 15 in stolen base attempts this year. Now runner in scoring position. And the count 0-1 to Andrus. Half swing and strike 2.
Andrus looking up there, checking the velo, trying to see what that pitch was. Didn't recognize it very well out of the hand. Kind of that little half swing.
Two strikes. Off the plate.
Well, guy doesn't see a pitch very well. What do? You go right back to it. A little better location. See if you can get him to chase.
One and two. That's a base hit left field. Piscotty is going to be waved around. Larnach's throw towards the plate is there in plenty of time. Another assist for Trevor Larnach. And Piscotty out by 10 feet, and the inning ends.
Where he's thinking all these things. I want him to just go out there, have fun, enjoy himself, and be himself.
Carlos Correa talking about the debut of Royce Lewis tonight. He's in the on-deck circle hitting behind Jose Miranda, who will lead things off. The veteran compared to Royce Lewis. He's already played in 4 ball games.
I think Lewis said it's helped him be comfortable over here. Miranda, Larnach. You got teammates that he had over in St. Paul and AAA, so he feels good.
Cut out and missed, and it's 2-1.
I think it was good to hear what Correa said, because I asked him that, and I said, you know, what are you going to do? And he said, I'm just going to let him play. He's got enough going on. If there's something I see, or if he comes up to me and asks me a question, I'll give him an answer, but I'll wait till after the game before I help him.
3-1 now. Logue walked Buxton to start the first inning, but was able to keep the Twins off the board. A drive to left field. And Miranda has his first big league home run.
He's holding back a smile right there. Just setting it up for Royce to go back to back. But that's a great feeling right there up in the second deck. He turned on that one. Real good swing.
We saw it when he got his first big league hit. The ball jumps off his bat, doesn't it?
Yeah, 30 homers last year in the minor leagues. There's something in that bat. He was a Twins minor league player of the year for a reason. Look at this finish. Good balance all the way through.
Took 2 steps out of the box, looked in the dugout, maybe at Lewis, and said, okay, now it's your turn. Ball 1. Well, we've all waited for Lewis to get here, and he had to wait just as long. The wait more difficult for him. Popped up, it'll reach the seats. To me, the amazing thing getting started at AAA is he played in every game. And for someone who was off the field all year last year with a knee issue, that's pretty impressive. 1-1. Ground ball backhanded by Smith. And Lewis gets down the line quickly. A ground out for the first out of the second inning. Hitting over 300, stole bases. And in a nutshell, looked for all the world like the knee injury never happened.
Yeah, this one maybe just a little more adrenaline than you're used to. Just a 1-1 change, a pretty good pitch. Took something off, well located down and away. I'd like to see him get down the line like that.
Here is Larnach. And in there, strike 1.
Did you see that right there? He's just a high character guy. He's a guy who cares about his teammates. Everyone wants to get a hit in their first major league at bat. But you see him come back to the dugout, and then he recognizes Miranda and what he did, and he's happy for him as well. So he's one of those guys that, you know, talking to everyone, people gravitate towards him. They just love being around him. He's such a positive guy. He loves the game of baseball. He's just one of those guys you want to be around. He's a baseball player who truly appreciates being on the field every day.
And you could have said everything you just said about Carlos Correa too, right?
It's kind of funny that he's the guy that he emulated as a kid, you know, looked up to, and now they're in the same dugout, same position, same team. Pretty cool to see.
2 strikes to Larnach. And now a ball. What we will see, at least at the start of this homestand, the youth movement in the Twins organization. We saw Miranda hit his first big league home run. We've seen Larnach be arguably the Twins' best hitter over the last week and a half. Kirilloff is back with the club. Lewis is here now. Hit hard to center field. Going back is Pache, and that is off the wall. Larnach will go to second with another double to the deepest part of the ballpark. That ball was rocketed toward the bullpen.
A nice job. 2 strikes, laying off a couple of pitches, and then getting something. We highlighted Pache, how shallow he was playing last inning, and he had to run about half a mile for this ball with where he was at. Larnach, this ball, outer third, he just goes with it. And if Pache is playing back where we see Buxton, that ball's probably caught, but that's the way they're choosing to play it in this ballpark. Take away the short hits. Assume if it's over your head, maybe it's out of the ballpark, but Larnach continues to swing the bat very well against lefties.
Here's Celestino. In there, a strike. Quietly, Celestino has his average up to 276. 4 runs batted in. Bottom 4 spots in the Twins lineup held by guys who weren't with the Twins at the start of the season.
See, what you got here now is not just the next guy who's ready. You have depth. You have quality major league players, but then you've got guys who are forcing their way up here as well. And when they get here, they seem to be ready.
1-2.
Some guys have gone up and down. Some guys have, taken, taken their learning their lessons, I guess you could put it, at the first, their first trips through the major leagues, go back down to the minor league, make some adjustments, understand how difficult it is at the big league level, and then come back up and look very comfortable.
Foul back, you saw how young the position players are for the Twins. Only younger team, the Guardians, and that is with the likes of Polanco, Sanchez, Correa, who've been around for quite a while. Correa, you tend to forget, he's only 27 years old.
Yeah, he's the old man amongst these guys, but been around a long time.
1-2 to Celestino. That's driven to right field, and that's fairly deep. Piscotty makes the catch on the warning track, and Larnach will move to third base.
It's actually Seth Brown out there now. Piscotty left the game after that play at the plate. Nice read by Larnach. Good swing right there by Celestino. Just came within a couple of feet of a double.
With deep fly advancing Larnach to third, and that'll bring up Buxton.
See, this is that approach that I talked about that was so good in Tampa, and now it looks like there's some thought to this as well in this game. You're not giving up the outside part of the plate. If he throws it out there, they're trying to drive it. They're trying to go to that opposite gap. They're trying to hit it hard.
Inside to Buxton. He drew a walk his first time up. That OPS over 1. And the A's, at least in his first 2 plate appearances, are really crowding him inside.
Yeah, it's kind of going back to that old page. We've seen Buxton, the only place really where he's had trouble this year is those fastballs up. So they're crowding him in. They're trying to get him chase above the zone when they get ahead. I think he's sure going to focus a little bit on staying a little more disciplined within the strike zone.
3-0. Polanco on deck.
But stay with me here. This might sound a little crazy, but sometimes you'd almost face a guy like McClanahan that we saw in Tampa throwing 97-mile-an-hour fastballs, because those guys challenge you. With a base open here, you're not sure that Logan's going to come after you. He's got room to try and get you to get yourself out.
A 4-pitch walk this time.
You see it right there. He set up about a foot off the plate in a 3-0 count. We saw Buxton hit 452 feet last night's ball game on a 3-0 pitch, so doesn't challenge him. But it's kind of what I'm saying, that McClanahan, he believes in all his stuff. He's got great off-speed stuff, electric fastball, but look how far outside he set up. He wants no part of Buxton right there. And so sometimes it's those guys that don't have as good a stuff as those number ones. They're a little more tentative. They know who can beat them in the lineup, so they stay away from those guys. And I think the plan here, as Buxton draws his second walk, is, all right, we fall behind. We're not going to let him beat us. We'll see if he can get himself out, and if not, we'll just go after Polanco, who's been swinging the bat better, but obviously not doing what Buxton's done so far early in the year.
Scott Emerson, the pitching coach, making his visit to the mound. Byron came into the game with 2 walks on the season, and they have walked him twice already tonight. Polanco spanked a single to right field his first time up. Grounded foul behind Larnach. Had a 7-game winning streak snapped in St. Petersburg, then added a 4-gamer right afterwards. Skied right side of the infield, and Kemp with the catch. Twins leave 2 aboard again in the second, but leading off the inning, Jose Miranda cranked his first big league home run. Pache will lead things off in the Oakland third. Down and away, ball one.
Well, you wonder how much Hot Rod and Dustin Morris and the boys are negotiating to try and get that home run ball back. It's always something you want. You get that first hit, the first homer, all those little milestone moments.
Tap foul.
Hang on to them, and then whether you give them to your parents or your high school coach, or you hang on to them and save them for your kids one day, it's special to have those things. Congratulations to him.
1-1. Just off the outside edge. 2-1. Pache, then Kemp and Noisy. Ramon Laureano is expected to rejoin the A's and maybe play center field on Sunday. There's ball three. Laureano serving his 80-game suspension that he was saddled with last year already, serving the balance of that early in the 2022 season. Three and one from Winder. Drilled to left. It'll carry again to Larnach. A couple of well hit balls out there and a couple of singles as well in the second inning. One down low in the third now, and Kemp will bat.
Larnach just looks so comfortable out there. Obviously, he's made some good throws from left earlier in the year. But at some point, if they're going to stop running on him, it's one of those things in today's game. We saw the Twins do it as well with 2 outs. Teams understand how hard it is to string hits together, so very aggressive on those sends on the ball to the outfield and put pressure on those outfielders, but Larnach's answered the call.
Tony Kemp takes inside a ball.
This ball carried really well, but he's just used to playing in this ballpark now, understands exactly where he's at.
Now this one cracked down the right field line, but a foul.
And I can't imagine it's the easiest thing to do. We see him jump back and forth between right field and left field. You know, the ball's going to do different things coming off the bat from right-handed and left-handed hitters. He's come a long way. He's learned a ton from his time up in the league last year.
Another one hook foul. Just nice to see the ball jump off his bat because he was hurt. He got hit by a pitch. It seemed like every other game around his hands and wrist area, and kept playing down around the feet.
It was like a magnet.
1-2 to Kemp. 2-2. Another foul ball. Last year, Larnach had 260 at bats. Was hit by a pitch 8 times.
Sorry to. I'm not sure I've ever seen a guy do a bat flip on a hooked foul ball, but I don't know if this hurt or if he lost the grip or what, but I thought it was a home run or something. But
now 3-2.
Home run in cricket, I guess.
Winder thought he might have clipped the inside edge. It's full count to the number 9 batter. Swing and a miss. And first time through the batting order, a couple of hits, but 4 Winder strikeouts.
Yeah, he struck out a guy. It's very hard to strike out. He's a contact guy, but that'll tell you how good that pitch was. They sped him up a whole bunch of times. Kept pulling that ball foul, and there he was able to just take something off and get him out front and walk him back to the dugout.
Noisy up and in. Noisy hit a ground ball routine play for Royce Lewis, which is exactly what he wanted to start the ball game. This one to right, and diving catch in right field by Max Kepler. A great catch, taking a hit away from Noisy.
Well, defense shows up every day. It's Kepler's turn now. Love watching these guys play out there.
360 Club. Log on to twinsbaseball.com/season tickets or text SKY. There's a ball drilled foul. On the left field corner again with Sanchez hitting the ball hard into foul territory. Text SKY to 51655 for details about Twins partial season ticket plans in the Delta Sky 360 Club. That's just a strike, but he's finding the barrel just about with every swing, it seems like.
Yeah, no, we just got to turn the field a little bit. His towards is off. Yeah, towards left center a little bit more. Well, trainer Colorado used to say that all the time. Your towards is off.
Towards.
Just hit it towards someone else.
Fouled away the other way. So he's making the adjustment, right?
Now, the next one should be a home run to straightaway center, right?
Into the Junipers. Over the fence. 2 strikes to Sanchez, who'll be followed by Urshela and Kepler. And instead, a swing and a miss, 1 down. And that'll bring up Urshela.
Guys do such a good job when they get ahead of executing that pitch now. It used to be kind of that cutter side to side, but now it's more up and down, and guys really elevate that fastball. Doesn't matter how hard they throw it up there with effectiveness.
Fouled away. Urshela struck out, leaving 2 men aboard in the first inning. On the outside edge, 0-2.
Now, when you're struggling the way Urshela has, it seems like every one of those pitches that are close clips the corner, and you're 0-2 instead of 1-1, and pitcher's in control of that count.
That's hit well, left field. Pinder's back. One hopping the wall, and Urshela digs for second. He's got a double with 1 out in the 3rd.
Well, they're playing shallower than any team we've seen so far this year in this ballpark, and they've been burned twice by it. Very rarely do you see anything land on the warning track that's not caught. Obviously, this ball was hit hard. It would have been a tremendous play, but they're about 5 or 6 steps shallower than almost anyone else we've seen. Urshela, this is a mistake. So the one to Sanchez, above the zone, 0-2. This pitch to Urshela, tried to elevate it, but it was inside that box at the top of the zone. Just a real simple swing. He just takes the barrel to it. That's got to feel good.
Now Kepler went down swinging his first time up. He too left 2 men aboard in the first. Swing and a miss.
The Twins not without opportunities. 0 for 5 so far with runners in scoring position through those first 2 innings, but that means they've got guys on base. That means they've got guys out there. Now it's just 1 hit away.
And Kepler takes 1-1. Just off the plate, 2-1.
Well, we've got ways to measure everything in baseball these days, and route efficiency is one of them. And not exactly the most efficient route here. He goes across and then goes back and then realizes he turned the wrong way again and ends up being a double. But they play so shallow, those balls straight over your head are the hardest ones to read.
We've seen Kepler swing and miss more in tonight's game than we seemingly did in the entire road trip. 2-2. And again, 2 down. We'll bring up Miranda.
Yeah, both times off speed early and then finish him off with a fastball. And Kepler, he hasn't missed that pitch too often in the last 10 days or so, but looking for his teammate to pick him up right here. Follow up that first major league home run with another good at bat.
No doubter to left for the only run of the game so far. Got away from Murphy briefly. Ball 1. Logue is the 12th left-handed starting pitcher that the Twins have faced this year in 27 games. Twins are 7-4 so far against left-handed starters, so that part's good.
See the lefties hitting well against the lefties has helped a ton.
Big fly center field. Pache is under it. And the Twins leave another man in scoring position. It's 1-0 after 3. 9 innings, no runs, 4 hits. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that'll play.
There's Lowry to start the Oakland 4th. Lowry, Murphy, and Piscotty in Oakland's 4th inning. The Oakland hitters all getting their second look at Winder, and there's the first pitch up, ball 1.
Yeah, I think this is always a good test, a team you've never faced before, to see how they adjust, if they are able to adjust, or how the stuff plays second time through.
And now 2-0.
Yeah, we saw him beat Lowry in the zone with fastball 94 right down the middle. Lowry swung under it.
Popped up, back, and out of play. First time through the order against the Rays, Winder gave up a hit and a walk. Second time through the lineup, just a 1-out double. Obviously didn't score, and then he got a couple of guys out the third time as well. Two and 1. And a big foul over the Twins dugout, 2-2.
He was all geared up right there. Struck out on it last time up, so he figured, I'm not going to get beat. He's ready to hit it. We'll see how Sanchez and Winder approach this next pitch. We saw it in the Kemp at bat. He pulled a few balls foul. They got him out front and then pulled a string, threw him a changeup, struck him out.
This one in fair territory. And Miranda calls the pitcher off. Winder says, go ahead, you can have all of that you want.
Thankfully, he was about 10 feet away from where that ball was coming down, so he was just running out of the way. But that was pitch sequence right there, perfect. You get a guy way out front on your fastball, pulls it foul, you see Miranda calling this off, but the next pitch you go back off speed, you go to that curveball, and out front pops it up. Just very efficient, smart pitch sequence right there, and then execution on top of it.
Sean Murphy went down swinging his first time up, and Winder starts him up and in, ball 1. He's starting a stretch today, 15 games in 13 days. And the sooner they can end their losing streak, the better off they'll be. It's tough when you're not playing well, and 6-game losing streak will tell you they're not playing well, and now you got this run of games with doubleheaders and all that, and you just want to get the losing streak over with and get things turned around as quickly as you can.
When things are going well, you can't wait to get to the ballpark. And when it's not, you're hoping for a day off.
Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage, you can see all the talent that was traded away. The corner infielders gone. Bassett, the anchor of their rotation, along with Manaea. One and 2 to Sean Murphy. Got in on the handle of his bat. A's in last place in the division. They started out fine, 8-4.
Depth over the course of a season. It's hard for any roster to withstand those losses. All-stars, terrific players.
Half swing, they'll appeal. No. Twins are dealing with an outbreak, might be too strong of a word, but some COVID positive tests. We'll see the check here, evening the count at 2-2.
Winder thought so, but he definitely checked up there. Right call.
Twins have their manager, a position player, and a pitcher that tested positive. The A's have had 8 positive tests. At one time, 6 players were down. There's a called third strike, and he got his strikeout on the next pitch.
Just look at the confidence he's walking around with. It's like he expects these good things to happen. He's out there just making pitch after pitch. You see him walk off almost before that ball even hit Sanchez's glove. He just knew he threw that where he wanted to.
We said this when we had Ryan Jeffers on the air on the road. When a pitcher does well, particularly the starter, because more is expected of them, you got to give some of the credit to the catcher. Now, Sanchez and Winder worked well together the other day in Winder's first start. 3 2/3 innings of shutout ball again tonight, and some of it is the pitch selection, calling the game behind the plate.
Yeah, you're kind of reading. Obviously, you have the scouting report, you have all those other things going on, but the catcher's job is to figure out what he's got working that day, and they seem to have been on the same page. They're working with a good pace. You see Sanchez with the wrist guard going, give him the signs that way, able to get through him quickly.
A 1, 2, 3, 4th inning, and the A's aren't having any better luck the second time they've seen Winder than the first. 40.
No, there was no rounding off there, so he was excited. Just a lot going on that first day in the big leagues. Family coming in. They said how many? He said, I don't know, some 15, something like that. They're still rounding the troops, so everyone was making their way in. I'd love to get that first hit out of the way. Really help them settle in.
Popped up near third. Smith has plenty of time and room. One away. I asked Lewis today, were you rusty at all? You hadn't played a competitive game for 2.5 years, going back to the Arizona Fall League, and you know, when St. Paul started up, he said, no, not once the competition started. You know, adrenaline takes over. It becomes, I suppose, the game you've always played once again, right?
Yep.
One down, and here's Larnach. Stats with Lowe's, and Larnach really stinging the ball against lefties, including his second inning double.
Yeah, but his ball was actually hit harder than Miranda's home run. So that was 106.5 miles an hour. Miranda in the second deck, 105 miles an hour, just a better part of the ballpark, a little better elevation, but he'll take that all day long. That's a homer in a lot of ballparks. He just hit it out there where target field gets deep.
Off the outside edge, now 2-0.
His takes are good. He's got a plan up there. He knows what he's looking for. He does a good job of controlling the strike zone.
All this discussion about 1-1s, right? Lewis, Correa. This guy's a first-round pick too. 20th overall in 2018, coming out of college.
A winner.
A winner, national championship.
Tasted it. I think 4 guys from that national championship team now are playing in the major league, so it was a deep group. Pitching coach Wes Johnson was on the other side.
Backhanded by Noisy. 2 away.
Good hustle right there going down the line. Yeah, the highlights, the videos we showed of Lewis, the smile. He's got some charisma. He's got some, he's got something to him that you just gravitate towards. Look at Larnach trying to beat that pitcher over there. Good effort, but
Celestino takes a strike, hit a fly ball to right his first time up.
See, Lewis learned that lesson that so many guys learn, and sometimes it's not till they're out of the game, how much you miss it when you're gone, when you have it taken away from you. Like it was for him when he was injured and he had to miss the entire year. You know, he's at the alternate site the year before, but that's not the same competition. Guys have the same uniform on. You're facing your own guys, but you just have a greater appreciation once you see the game will go on without you. When you get back out there, you see that smile on his face. You know, it's unfortunately something I went through as well, having missed so much time and having the game taken away and wondered if you're going to get back. And for him, missing an entire year was tough, but you see the smiles when he's out there. He just loves to play.
The monotony of rehabbing an injury, the tedium. I don't know that you ever allow doubt to enter into the process, but you can't do something you love to do, and that is play the game. And instead you have to very patiently do what others tell you to do and don't overdo it when everybody wants to overdo it. Hit well left center field, long run for Pache, and he makes the catch and then crashes into the fence. Almost got burned again, but his speed got him there, and Pache with the catch to end a 1-2-3 fourth inning. Baseball.com/cancer awareness. It's just a 1-0 ball game, but Josh Winder's looked every bit as good here today as he did in his first major league start in St. Petersburg. Just off the outside edge, ball one.
He's been efficient, but I think the one thing, if you're nitpicking through a guy throwing a shutout, but only 6 of 14 first pitch strikes, so he has been falling behind in the count.
A little bit of a different animal. You may remember when Winder pitched against St. Petersburg, the Twins scored 5 runs before he even threw a pitch. Well, this is different. It's a 1-0 ball game. He's got to pitch these A's hitters still aggressively, but very carefully, because it's just a 1-0 ball game.
I think he's just got so much confidence in that slider that he's able to throw it behind in the count. He's able to throw it ahead in the count. Everything just kind of plays off of that.
And now 2-2.
You see the one for the strike and then the one for the strikeout. It's something that he can go to. He's got good feel for it. Obviously nice to have a fastball in your pocket that you can run up there at 96 miles an hour as well, but it makes that 96 play up even more.
Another strikeout. 3 in a row now. And 7 in the game.
We saw this in his last start. You know, a lot of times when guys start racking up the strikeouts, the pitch count follows. You go run deep counts, but he's been able to locate that slider and get some swing and miss on it.
And a lot of those, and not too many foul balls, other than Kemp, that, you know, had what, 4 or 5 foul balls in his at bat before he struck out. And there's strike one.
And he was even able to strike out Kemp, whose career high is 51 in a year. So he's a guy who puts the ball in play, makes contact. So it's been a good sign. It's been a good outing. It's been a good mix of pitches.
1 strike. And now 2.
Almost as many sliders as fastballs so far in this start, and it's kind of what he had done up to this point in the major leagues. But mixing the off speed, the fastball, keeping these hitters off balance.
Another strikeout. 4 straight strikeouts. And that'll bring up Andrus.
I mean, we're into the 5th inning. He's got 8 strikeouts and he's only thrown 63 pitches. I mean, it's been efficient, and when he's been ahead, he's managed to finish hitters off. And not with just doing the same thing. Yes, a lot of sliders, but he's been able to elevate that fastball. He's thrown some changeups. It's just been a display of how to pitch.
Just missed, ball 1. swing but a strike, and Andres upset that he committed to that. 1-1.
Well, we saw his last at bat. He kind of had that awkward swing. He looked up at the board to see what the pitch was, and he's always animated. He's always entertaining to watch.
And a slow breaking ball dropping in for strike 2. Weak ground ball. Lewis charges, flips, got it. Another 1-2-3 inning for Winder. 5 innings complete, and 4 of them have been 1-2-3 innings.
That's maybe a good sit down with Buxton as well. The last homestand. This was, you know, it's one of those things where no two hitters think alike. So to be able to pick the brain of one of the greatest hitters in Twins history, and a guy who's going to go into the Hall of Fame hopefully sooner rather than later, in my opinion, than Joe. So, but to hear, you know, different how guys approach at bats differently.
Strike call 2-1.
Just to see, you know, a guy's thought process as he's going through pitch by pitch, and to let people in of all the things that are going on. So this is the pitch clock that I think this is the thing that hitters are concerned about, is once you sit down and watch that and go, all right, there's all these thoughts going through your head.
All back 2-2.
You're gaining information. You're learning from each pitch. You're planning on your next pitch. You're trying to stay within your approach. You're not trying not to let all these other things get into your head as you're going through this at bat. And you need time to process all that, and to just sit down and go through it with, you know, 2 elite athletes, 2 great hitters. That's a fun thing for me to do.
Bounce foul. Interesting you bring that up about the pitch clock, because I asked Jose Miranda today, because they dealt with the pitch clock at AAA. I said, was that an adjustment for you? And he said, at first, but once you got used to it, you just, you know, it became part of the game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of a challenge for the guys who've been around for 6, 7, 8 years.
2-2. Drive center field. Hit well toward the bullpen. Gone! He did it again! Home run number 9! And he nearly did a cartwheel between first and second.
Just say high stepping, going around first, feeling good, showing the emotion, just doing what he does. And just a tremendously exciting player to watch. 2 solo homers in this ball game, but he pitched around him. He walked the first 2 times up. Here he's coming at him, and Buxton got extended on it. Pache shaded to right center field, ran a long way for this as well. Looked like he had a shot of actually trying to bring that back, but
2-0, and strike 1 now to Polanco.
And the way Winder's throwing it, almost feels like 5 or 6-0, but it's special what we're watching.
Tied for the league lead with 9 home runs.
See,
on the way.
Going through those at bats with Buxton, he went through the White Sox game, the game tying home run, and then the walk-off home run, and to hear him go through an entire at bat, the thought process and everything that he was going through, it's not just a guy up there relying on his athleticism. It's a guy up there with a plan.
But as I was listening to part of that, though, to me, and I think most people who couldn't play at your level, at Byron's level, I think we can understand why it just takes a while to get to the point where you can come up with a plan and then execute it at this level.
And see, it's one of those things, you have to learn your swing. You have to know who you are as a hitter. You have to learn what you do well. At the same time, you're trying to figure out how they're getting you out, how they're attacking you, what they're doing to you when you're in the batter's box. And the problem, or something that gets in the way a lot of times, is just the mechanics. It's hard to think about it and react at the same time.
Foul back.
Mechanics happen in the cage, mechanics happen in batting practice, but when the game starts, you need to get into this compete mode and looking for a spot and trying to attack it, looking for a certain pitch. The problem is, in the minor leagues, very few guys can get anything over other than their fastball. So that's why you see guys kind of when they come up, there's a little bit of a struggle. There's an adjustment period. Major league pitchers are here because they can get more than their fastball over. They have an elite second pitch, most of them, and the starters have sometimes 3 and 4 pitches. So you're up there not just living off of the fastball. You can't get here if you can't hit the fastball. That's the first thing you have to be able to do in the minor leagues. But then when you get here, you start seeing a lot more efficient off speed, guys hitting their spots with changeups.
And Polanco is out on a check swing. The pitch apparently hit him, and he is out. The call made immediately by Nestor Ceja.
He got fooled here on this slider and got out there, got him in the back leg.
But the swing negates the hit by pitch, as it did last night with Carlos Correa when the ball hit his hand, but on a swing and the ball went into fair territory.
Yeah, it's one of those things where even if it hits you, you've committed to swing.
Sanchez pops it up near the Twins dugout. Noisy just runs out of room. 1 strike.
But see, it's that plan, right? When you're up there at the major league level, it's very hard to hit 4 pitches at once and cover the entire strike zone. So, you know, going through Joe's, is he said so many times, he tried to eliminate pitches. He tried to, if a guy threw 4, he tried to figure out if he could only throw 3 for strikes that day.
Another deep foul rattled the windows of the 3rd floor offices over there.
Too many people go up there. But so it's a different thing. Joe's approach was this, and Byron's approach was something different, and my approach was something different. He talked to Gary Sanchez. His approach is a little bit different. But hitters love to talk to other hitters because guys are successful. You pick somebody's brain, you try and find some way to.
Fly ball center field, and Pache now comes in. Spent most of his night retreating, out number 2. Well, Byron was asked how he knows when he's on a hot streak.
If I walk during the game, like that's like my most positive thing for me, because I don't go out there to walk. I go out there to hit. So for me, if I walk, that's like the ultimate locked in for me, you know, because I don't walk a lot.
Came into the game with just 2 walks. The A's walked him the first 2 times up tonight. Probably wish they'd walked him the 3rd time.
But that tells you exactly what he said. He's locked in. Well, he throws him 1 fastball over the plate that he can get extended on, and he hits it 400+ feet into the bullpen. So they're pitching him very carefully those first 2 times up, seeing if they could get him to chase. He stayed disciplined. He got himself something to hit, and he didn't miss it. And this is what it looks like to watch greatness. I mean, it's a guy at the top of his game, prime of his career. He's out there healthy, tied for the league in home runs.
1-1. Now Urshela pulls one hard and foul.
Gonna need a new bat.
We talked about Correa being a mentor for Lewis, but now he and Buxton are exchanging thoughts. I'll tell you, Lewis a couple of years ago in spring training, if you ever found Rod Carew or Tony Oliva, you saw Royce Lewis. He followed those guys around, and why wouldn't you? 10 batting titles there between those 2 guys. So he wants to learn and be the very best player he can. And the Twins have surrounded him with an awful lot of talent.
Larnach the same way. He's a student of the game. I think a lot of times young players come up and they're afraid to ask questions. They come into an environment, especially, you know, when I came up and even before that, rookies were supposed to be seen and not heard. And now it's so different, and you rely on so much on young players today's game. So ask questions. Guys love young players coming up asking questions. It makes you feel good that somebody respects, you know, your experience and your knowledge that you've gained through your time in the game. And these guys aren't afraid to do that. And you've got a good mix on this team of guys who have been there, playoff caliber guys that you can learn from.
2-2. Ground ball hit to Smith. And that'll wrap up the Twins' fifth. A Buxton home run and a 2-0 Twins lead.
Josh Winder has been terrific again in this ball game, and he's done it by a great mix of pitches. The slider obviously has been very good for him, but he's thrown enough fastballs and enough fastballs in the mid-90s to get those hitters still out front on that off-speed stuff, and a mix on the strikeouts as well. He's get some swing and miss. He's filled up the zone. He's finished hitters off when he's been ahead.
Great stop. Quick release. Safe. Miranda came off the bag.
Well, this would have been a terrific play right here. Guy with good speed. So Urshela understands this. He's playing in even with the bag before this ball was hit. We got him out front on this slider. He hit the top of the ball. You see he's going with it. His momentum's taking him all the way over there, and he threw it, and this ball just pulled Miranda off the bag. And whether his foot was still in contact when he had this his glove on this ball, but great effort. Yeah, he would have been, but that's a tough play right there.
Just rolled out of the webbing of the glove. Here's Tony Kemp. Hold and throw to first.
I think the most important thing there, maybe the fact that that ball didn't roll down the right field line, kept that runner at first base. So for a guy who hasn't played a ton of first, it's a very good play, just unable to complete it.
Swung on and missed. Hayes stole a base back in the second inning. Piscotty stole second and then was thrown out in the ensuing single to left field by Larnach, and then left the ball game. Just 3 bench players for the A's, and they've already made one move, getting Brown in. High fly right field and deep. Coming back is Kepler. The edge of the track has it one away. Shea bluffs.
Kepler says go ahead. A little short right field here. He got behind this ball. No chance he was running there. Just trying to jaw throw.
One down. Pesce still at first, and now Sheldon Noisy.
Think of the advantage now when the Twins are home, Saints are home, those moves you can make from across the street.
Noisy with a bouncer to short and a liner to right. Kepler made a nice diving catch to end the third inning.
Twins played a little bit short-handed last night. Obviously, the COVID stuff kind of snuck up on them. Not enough time to get anyone there to replace them on the roster. But you come here, you see 3 roster moves, simple moves. You know.
Sanchez kept it near home plate.
Royce was asked, he said, was it a hard commute, coming over here, St. Paul, Minneapolis? He said, actually, I can see the fireworks, and I can see Minnie and Paul shaking hands from my apartment. So he's not too far from here. And I don't know if that was anticipation of him expecting himself to be in the major league lineup at some point this season, or just worked out that way. But such a convenient thing to be able to kind of go back and forth and supplement your roster that way.
Want to know. Blocked again by Sanchez, 2-0. New manager for the Oakland A's, Mark Kotsay. If you look hard enough, everyone and everything in baseball is connected. Kotsay, a first-year Oakland A's manager, replacing Bob Melvin, who is now the San Diego Padres manager, who replaced Jace Tingler, who is the acting manager for the Twins tonight.
The carousel goes round and round and round.
Yep. 2-1. Roller right side. Polanco has a kick off the heel of his glove and into short right field. So now the A's have a threat. A single, probable error to Polanco. First and third, one down for Lowry.
Well, this ball came up on him. He got, see that last hop, he was getting himself in position to turn and try and roll this ball up to second base, and it'll go down as a fielder's choice, E4. Not sure he would have been able to turn it with how long it would have taken to catch that ball, turn, make a throw, but you're still just one pitch away with one out here.
See Wes Johnson do this a lot, whether it's a balk or an error. Back-to-back walks, things start getting a little kaflooey out there, and he'll make a trip to the mound in the hopes of getting things settled back down on the field. Time now for a word from the Minnesota Lottery.
A day on the water is always a win.
A's with a threat. Winder has 8 strikeouts through 5 1/3 innings, and he could sure use one here. Jed Lowry, the batter. He struck him out in the first. And then Sean Murphy. Or maybe the Twins could turn a double play instead of hit into one.
Yeah, they have turned 19 of them on the year, so good time for number 20 right here. A little different defensive alignment. If it is to Polanco, he's going to have to hit Lewis cutting across the bag.
Strike one. And a take, 1-1. 5 innings for Logue, and it looks like he'll give way to left-hander A.J. Puck.
Yeah, 90 pitches in his outing. Didn't throw the ball bad, just 2 solo homers.
The Twins were beaten by solo homers last night. Maybe they'll hit enough of them tonight to win. Sanchez with a throw. Let's play it first.
This is that one we talked about. You don't have to have a sign on this one. You got to be ready over there at first. And,
right. What's the rule there? Because Miranda almost blocked the bag from the runner on the throw in his pivot and his stance.
Yeah, why not? See middle infielders do it.
That's to center. Celestino lays out and makes the catch. A run will score, but another diving catch by a Twins outfielder, 2 away.
A terrific play right here. He landed pretty hard, and he had thoughts of popping up to throw this thing. Good jump on this ball. Came in on it and full on Superman dive right there. Saw Kepler make one earlier in the ball game.
A run scores, an unearned run, and that'll bring up Murphy. Murphy with 2 strikeouts against Winder, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Half swing and a strike. Winder approaching his 83 pitch mark in his first start. He completed 6 innings, and if he can get Murphy, he'll end up with very similar numbers. And if the A's don't score beyond the 1 run they have this inning, it'll be 6 innings and no earned runs again. There goes the runner. Swung on and missed. Sanchez's throw. Got him. Just missed getting a runner back in the second inning, but he gunned him down here in the sixth. Suppose I could have done it a couple of weeks ago, but it would have been a little silly. The boat sitting on the ice like that. Puck in the ball game for Oakland, and he'll face Kepler, Miranda, and Lewis. Kepler with 2 swinging strikeouts against the lefty starter. And the Twins will see a lot of left-handed relief pitching too. We talked about they've already faced 12 left-handed starters. The A's have 4 left-handed relievers, counting Puck. Oh, foul.
Puck's got a plus arm, plus fastball. Averages 96 miles an hour. Goes a little more half the time and mixes in a slider as well. That's sweeping breaker. That's what he threw to Kepler the first pitch.
One and one. High fly to center. Playable for Pache. One down. And that'll bring up Miranda. Twins with some activity in their bullpen. Joe Smith getting loose, so it looks like Winder almost identically repeated the numbers from his first major league start.
Tremendous in both outings. See if you can get that run back right here.
There's Smith getting loose. Am I making too much of this with Miranda now 19 at bats, 3 hits, including the home run tonight? But 19 at bats, he's only struck out once.
A little small sample size, but I mean a good. With the rate now across the league is
right.
A lot higher than that, but it depends if he's hitting the pitches he wants to hit.
But you know, you see these guys and they have success in the minor leagues, and you wonder whether that's going to translate up here, whether they're going to be overmatched. He doesn't look like he's overmatched. He's not striking out a lot.
No, he's putting the ball in play, and you got guys who are strikeout artists, especially coming out of the bullpen for every team.
Well, he's just taken a walk, and that is his first big league walk. So in addition to just the one strikeout, now he's matched his strikeout with a walk. A man aboard, and now here's Lewis.
Now would be a good time to get that first hit. Oakland just scored that last half inning on after an error was made on a potential double play ball. You got a guy out there, 2-pitch mix, so you're only looking for 2 things. You got a plus fastball. Get it ready and see if you can drive something in the gap.
In there, a strike. Hit .310 for the Saints, 27 for 87, 11 doubles, 3 homers, a triple, 11 RBIs, 17 walks, 21 runs, on base percentage of .430, OPS of .993. Those are his AAA numbers this year after having not played in 2.5 years. Inside, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, when there was an opportunity, spot opened up, even if it's just briefly. He forced his way into that conversation. I'm sure there was not a whole lot of plans of bringing him up after a month with how much time he missed, but he's looked so good down there, and they said as much as anything the consistency he's shown on the defensive side of the ball.
Popped up short right field. Brown coming in. 2 down, and that'll bring up Larnach. Toby Gardenhire probably has a little bit of a Santa Claus complex right now, because he's been able to bring the likes of Lewis, Miranda, Larnach, and others the good news that they're going back to the big leagues. Must be nice to be able to make people happy like that.
Well, it's a moment you never forget as a player. I can remember it like it was yesterday, you know, getting told by Phil Roof. It was in Buffalo.
Larnach takes ball 1.
It's just something you dream about as a kid, and very few people get to realize that dream. I mean, you had that dream as a kid. That dream as a kid. We both got here in little different ways, but it's one of those things where somebody tells you something you've been working towards your whole life. Yeah, you're right. Managers will tell you, general managers will tell you, there's nothing worse than telling a player he's been released or sent down. And there's nothing better than passing on the good news and making someone's dream come true. And yeah, Toby's got to do that a few times this year.
1-1 to Larnach. Rifled a double to center field his first time up. Then hit a ground ball to first. 2-1. I've had the pleasure working with so many great players, and it's not an original thought, but it's one that I first heard from Tommy John, the great pitcher who did Twins games for a couple of years. And he said when he looked for a scouting report on a team or a player, he looked for who hit the most doubles. Wasn't interested in the home runs so much, but he looked for doubles because he figured that guy is hitting the ball well if he had a big bunch of doubles. Well, Larnach's got a big bunch of doubles. He just hit his 9th earlier this year in 65 at bats. That's a lot of doubles in 65 at bats. 2-2. And now 3-2.
Just the quality at bats, I think, is what stands out the most. Right-handed, left-handed. When you're in the minor leagues, it doesn't matter. You just show up to the park and you try and get some hits and help your team win a ball game. Figure out a way. You get up here, the platoon stuff starts to come into play a lot more, but eventually you learn to forget and go back to becoming that hitter.
Miranda takes off, and there's a strike on the outside edge. Twins go scoreless in the 6th. We got a tight ball game. 2-1 Twins as we go to the 7th. Awfully good coming out of that Twins pen.
Yeah, he's worked some magic a couple times, coming in and a couple of messes and stranded a bunch of runners in those situations. Got 2 double play balls to work out of jams, pick up the starting pitchers. This time he comes in with nobody on. A clean spot, but nice to have a veteran down there you can rely on to just kind of keep that bullpen line moving that's been so good.
Sanchez tried to steal it, but it was outside, ball 1. Fouled back, big swing by Murphy, but a foul ball, 1-1. Right-handers hitting just 111 against Smith. And we give you the velocity reading, it's 84, but we may as well save some electricity and just turn it off, because that's not his game. His game is movement and deception. And I don't think he cares whether he throws 84 or 87. He just wants to hit his spots.
Yeah, hit his spots, get outs, and however he gets them, it doesn't really matter. You don't pitch over 800 games in the big leagues if you haven't figured out how to work with what you have that day.
Get into the shift. Polanco gobbles it up. 1 down. Another good outing for Winder. 6 innings and only 1 run allowed, and that one was unearned.
Yeah, he was very good. He made pitches when he was behind in the count when he needed to. He flipped that slider over almost at will. He had the one for strikes and the one for strikeouts, and then mixed in some changeups. That four-seam fastball he picked up in the zone.
Left field and deep. Larnach on the track, has room. And again, what you mentioned before, he just felt comfortable, like he knew where the track was, knew where the wall was, made the catch, 2 away.
Yeah, take another look at this. This is most of them on the slider. That's a very effective pitch for him, but he's starting to get a pretty good feel for that changeup. It had decent fade to it tonight. But just the location was good. The location of the fastball's up, setting up. The other pitch is down.
A lot of this from Joe Smith, efficiency, because he got 3 outs on 5 pitches.
Second major league start was terrific yet again. Slider was good. Fastball played. Mixed in the secondary stuff, some curveballs, some changeups. Twins have a 2-1 lead right now, and they'll face a new pitcher. Right-hander Domingo Acevedo. Another 6'7" pitcher. Puck, who was just in, 6'7" lefty. Now Acevedo, 6'7" righty. Fastball is going to be in the low to mid 90s. Slider and a changeup. Going to rely on some deception. That angle. Big tall guy. Ball's going to get on you a little bit. That 93 is going to play up a little bit more than what the radar gun says.
Time for the Twins to add on here. It was a 2-0 ball game. The A's got an unearned run, and now in the Twins' 7th. Even one more would look awfully big. Here is Celestino. At the knees, a strike. Celestino with a fly ball to right. And a warning track liner to center. And Shea made a nice retreat, made the catch right before he ran into the fence. Just missing, 1-1. Celestino getting center field. It's a simple guess, but we will guess that Byron Buxton will be out there tomorrow afternoon. Very high, 2-1. Mask of the catcher, headed for the mask of the umpire.
Just a little different arm slot, a little different look. That ball almost appearing to rise.
Driven to right and down for a hit. Celestino making contact.
Well, we've talked about Larnach making adjustments. Think of where Celestino's come from, where he was at last year. Solid contact there. Batting average creeping up close to 300. His ball away, so he just takes it the other way. Under control. Last year we saw him maybe overswinging a little bit, trying to do a little too much, and a little bit of a slow start and trying to make up for lost ground, maybe trying to do it all in one day. Here, the approach has just gotten a little bit simpler. We saw him make a tremendous catch in center field, now adding in on the offensive side.
We saw and then heard Byron talk about he knows he's locked in when he takes walks because he's seeing the ball well. Well, that's exactly how it's played out here tonight. He walked on 7 pitches, I believe, in the first inning, on 4 pitches in the second. Then he hit a home run his 3rd time up. Acevedo going right after him.
Yeah, first pitch. Slider off speed, and that one a perfectly located fastball down and away. Not what he's looking for. I think this is part of talking to him and going through his at-bats. All right, until I get 2 strikes, I'm looking for my pitch still, looking for something that I want to hit.
And on 3 pitches, Buxton goes down, 1 away.
Pretty good changeup right here. This arm slide, he's able to turn it over and get this ball to really fade, almost split-like, diving towards the ground. See that right there? See that spin, that turnover, that fade? That ball started at the bottom of the zone. Big, tall guy relying on movement.
Here is Polanco. As a right-handed batter, a single to right, then a pop-up and a swinging strikeout. Inside, ball one.
Well, at some point in the next couple days, he's going to win you a ball game. He's going to come through with a couple of big hits. We saw him last year with as good a stretch as you've seen in the Twins uniform with the walk-offs and coming up clutch. He just hasn't gotten a groove yet this year. We've seen glimpses of some good at-bats, but hasn't put it all together yet.
Just missed the outside edge, 2-0.
Think of this, 15-11 record, first place. Haven't really started clicking as a group. There's been guys that have been hot. Guys have won you games, on their own. You think of Buxton, you think Correa with some big swings. Kepler, Larnach, it's been different guys at times, but you've still got a couple guys who can win you ball games and haven't really taken over yet. It's a positive sign for how well they've played.
And a strike call. Smith got the 7th. Tyler Duffy looks like he'll get the 8th. Two and one to the Twins' second baseman. Twins have not done much base stealing or attempting, and their percentage hasn't been very good. In the minor leagues, Celestino was pretty good. 65 steals in 81 tries. Polanco didn't agree, but the count now 2-2.
That's that same changeup he threw to Buxton for strike 3. A lot of movement. Looks like he clipped just the bottom of the zone, that bottom of the front knee as it crossed the plate.
Got a piece. Six hits for the Twins, 3 for the A's, 2 solo home runs for the Twins. First Miranda, then Buxton. Another 2-2. Full count, and keep an eye on Celestino here. Decent chance I would think he might take off. Sanchez on deck.
Acevedo showed some quick feet on that throw over, but very hard for a guy as tall as he is to be quick to the plate. Let's see what they do here.
Celestino stays put, and there's ball 4. A single, strikeout, now a walk. 2 men aboard for Sanchez, and Twins fans are hoping he could keep one of these line drives fair.
He's been barreling some balls, just most of them left of third base. You'd love to add on 1, maybe 2 right here. Make this lead just a little bit more comfortable.
2 outfield flies and a strikeout so far for Sanchez. Nice dig by Murphy. Sanchez's home run came back on April 10th. The grand slam against Seattle. Big fly ball again. Andrus out, now giving way to the left fielder Pinder, and that's out number 2. I'll leave it up to Urshela. Time now for a quick word, and I mean quick, from Tria. Twins had their 7-game winning streak. Got a lot of hits with 2 outs. And that's frankly one of the reasons they lost 2 ball games in Baltimore and aren't leading by a larger margin here tonight. See if Urshela can deliver one. Two leadoff home runs for the Twins, accounting for their 2 runs. Urshela with a double in 3 trips. Tapper left side. And that wraps it up. We head to the 8th. Another low scoring ball game with the Twins in front.
Unearned run in this game. Started with Winder, passed the baton to Smith, and now Smith passing it off to Duffy.
Duffy will get the 8th inning. The Twins still have a lead. The hope is that I guess Pagan would come out for the ninth. Duran went an inning and a third last night, gave up a couple of home runs. So we'll see how Duffy fares here in the 8th. Smith will lead things off. Breaking ball in there, strike 1.
Inning and 2/3 his last time out. A couple of strikeouts. I think you're only planning on 3 outs right here from him.
Lewis to his left, stays with it, shows off his arm, 1 away.
Nice play right here. This ball came up on him, much like we saw the error that Polanco made. That ball kind of jumped up and hit off the heel of his glove. Royce gets around this ball. He's in the shift. He goes and gets it. And that ball had some funky spin. But as you said, the arm strength right here. Watch this kick kind of up and catches it right in the palm of his glove. But good soft hands. Nice transfer.
Well, that second hop out of the dirt came up on him. Stayed with it. 1 down, and now Andrus. And a first pitch breaking ball taken for a strike by Andrus. Missing with a fastball. Two and 1. Andrus, a 7th place hitter. Pache on deck. Three and 1. Big pop up near third. And Urshela for out number 2. Time now for a quick word from Cody Construction.
Roofing perfection. Made complete only when you're satisfied. Born and raised, we are Minnesota's own Cody Construction.
2 down in the 8th. In Pache, a liner to left, caught by Larnick, and a single and a run scored in the 6th. It's down the line, but twisting foul. 1 strike. Swing and a miss.
Seen some good movement on that fastball from him today. He's got some good run. Especially on these right-handed hitters. A lot of these guys, going on reputation, scouting report, throws a lot of breaking balls. So if he's able to do that, locate that in.
2 strikes. Blocked by Sanchez. Six innings for Winder, 4 of them 1-2-3 innings. Smith had a 1-2-3 7th. And now Duffy has a 1-2-3 8th. And we head to the bottom of the 8th. Twins up a run. New A's pitcher is Kirby Snead, one of 4 left-handed relievers that they have.
Slider and a fastball. More sliders than fastballs. Fastball is going to be in the lower 90s.
Snead brought in because Kepler is the leadoff batter. He's 0 for 3. All 4 of his bats now, plate appearances, have been against left-handed pitching. It'll be Miranda and Lewis to follow. Drive right center field. Pache going back. He's got just enough room in front of the scoreboard. 1 down.
Good swing right here. Not sure if this was maybe off the end just a little bit. It sounded pretty good. That was a hanger. Pache playing shallow, as we've pointed out a couple times tonight, but he's been able to get back there and run down a couple of deep fly balls.
There's Miranda. Cut on and missed. Pagan will get the 9th inning, it looks like. See if the Twins can add another run or 2 to the lead. Miranda scored the first run with his first big league home run. Falling back, 2 strikes. So far, Miranda with a home run, a fly ball to center, and a walk. Driven hard to right field. Brown is there to make the catch on the edge of the track. 2 down. Been a whirlwind day for Royce Lewis, making his major league debut. A couple of chances in the field that he's made, and the perfect way to cap it off, of course, is to check a box here in his last at bat and get his first big league hit.
Yeah, sleep a little bit better tonight if he's able to roll one through here.
Away, ball 1. So far, a ground ball, an infield pop-up, and an outfield fly. There it is. Sharply to right field. Royce Lewis gets his first big league hit. And look at the ovation.
I got chills. That's beautiful.
A 2-out single, and now Larnach.
Oh, what a moment for that young man. You got Miranda's home run ball. You got Lewis's first hit. A couple of souvenirs going into the clubhouse.
Lefty on the mound, so something for Lewis to ponder as he considers whether he should try to steal second. Larnach with a double and 3 trips, and like Kepler, all of his at-bats have been against 3 different left-handed pitchers. second throw over, and both have been low. Many, if not most of the fans here understand the situation here. Running is a big part of Lewis's game. They're locked in here. With Larnach at the plate, Lewis at first. And Larnach takes ball one.
I'll tell you, smart baseball fans here anticipating a big prospect coming up, making his debut, give him a standing ovation, but also understanding part of his game is running and taking an extra base, taking some stolen bases.
Big leg kick and a big swing by Larnach. 1-1.
Take another look at this first major league hit. This ball off the plate, but nice job. Just a simple approach. Goes out and gets it, and just enough the barrel to shoot it into right field.
And Larnach into left field, a base hit. Lewis will hold up at second. Larnach continues to deliver hits against left-handed pitching with 2 more tonight.
They keep bringing him in to get him out, and he keeps answering that call, because how many times have we seen him flip that ball the other way? Just take your singles. Eventually, they're going to start challenging him inside. You mentioned the 9th double of the year. Hard hit ball off the bullpen fence in left center field earlier. Now gets a slider and just goes with it, flips it the other way, much like we saw from Lewis. Just take what they give you, keep the line moving, and that'll bring in a new pitcher.
Trevino will come in to pitch to Celestino. Twins not desperately, but certainly wanting to get another run here in the bottom of the 8th.
You share that moment with so many people. It's special to not only the guy who got the hit, but I used to love doing that.
Faking like he was going to take the ball and throw it into the crowd. Well, here's Celestino, and he hasn't had maybe as much to show for his night at the plate as he should. Fly ball to right, a line drive to center field. Pache made a nice play. Then he did get a base hit in the 7th. Trevino, part-time closer for the A's, 3 opportunities, 2 saves. Jimenez is 4 for 4 in save opportunities for the Athletics. 1 strike.
He's got a good arm. We saw it right there. 96 on the fastball. Cutter, change, and a curve.
And he gets a bounce ahead of Celestino quickly. 2-0.
Yeah, that was the curveball there. But we've seen it so many times. This Twins team making an adjustment, trying to be tough outs. They've been putting the ball in play. A little more frequently than we've seen in the past. The approach of using the whole field. We saw it Celestino last time up.
87, but down low. Got him. Trevino gets the last out. It'll be a 1-run lead as the Twins hope to pick up a win in the homestand opener. Is brought to you by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. 2-1 Twins, and Emilio Pagan will come in to try to pin it down. For the most part, Pagan has been really good. The biggest concern for him so far this year, and it will be a concern in this 1-run game, walks. He's only given up 3 hits, but his whip is high because of 7 walks in less than 7 innings pitched. And in his last 4 outings, covering 3 2/3 innings, he's issued 6 walks. And he'll face Tony Kemp, the last guy you'd want to walk because he runs awfully well. So we'll see if Pagan can get locked in on the strike zone and pick up his 3rd save in 4 opportunities. Ball 1.
Well, it starts with strike 1. He came out in his last outing and was talking to Wes Johnson about his split grip. He found a new grip and said he threw a couple of them in the bullpen before he came in that outing, and then used it
in their first strike, 1-1
to get some outs, and was very effective with it. He said, all right, I got a good feel for it. I'm confident. I'm going to go out there and throw it. That's something. You have something that feels good. Why not work it in, right?
Only pitched once on the road trip, and that was in Baltimore a few days ago. 2-1.
And that's that split right there.
Two and one. Kemp, and then Noisy and Lowry in Oakland's 9th inning. Fouled away, 2-2. Pagan was part of the Oakland bullpen 4 years ago. Didn't have control issues then, just 19 walks in 62 innings. 2-2 to the leadoff man in the 9th. Fouled back.
I mentioned this earlier. Kemp's a guy, he's hard to strike out. We did see it happen in his first at bat on a 3-2 changeup. Pagan's used that split to strike some left-handed hitters out and right-handed hitters.
Got him looking. Clipping the inside edge, 1 away.
And that was that split right there. Started in and ran back over. Set up away, missed his spot, but got away with it. That ball starting in. When a guy's got a new pitch, you look at the scouting report, or if you faced him before in the past, you think you have an idea or a feel of what he's going to do. He throws that cutter, slider, whatever you want to call it, into lefties, so sometimes you get that in your mind.
Base hit left center field. Celestino hustling. Noisy will round first and almost spin out. He'll be held to a single, and the throw comes all the way through to the mound where Pagan has it. It's a 1-out single, and now Lowry.
Well, some hard contact here. Run hard out of the box, thinking about going 2. Celestino, this is that slider, just kind of spun up there, backed up on him, sat in the heart of the plate. Solid contact. Celestino shaded towards that right center field gap. Almost blew a tire going around first here.
Now Lowry 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard his last time up. Celestino made a great catch. Outfield, particularly Celestino, playing a very deep outfield. And there's ball 1 to try to cut off any chance of a double. White Sox beat the Red Sox 4-2. White Sox getting 3 runs in the first against Nathan Eovaldi. 1-0. Popped up. Chased by Urshela, but it's out of play. 1-1.
Well, I think the White Sox are going to start playing better. We saw what I believe is probably the worst version of what their baseball team is going to look like when they were here. A lot of sloppy play, some injuries and everything else on top of it. I think they're a better ball club than what they showed last time in, so the Twins are going to have to continue to play well. If they keep pitching, playing defense the way they are, they're going to have a chance to win every ball game.
1-1 to Lowry. Just missed the inside edge. 2-1.
He's been very good back there. Very consistent. Hasn't missed too many, but this one, Pagan's out there looking in saying, was that in? And because he's missed his spot, Sanchez target away. He needed that one.
And now 3-1.
What a difference. Instead of 1-2, you're 2-1. Now you're 3-1, falling behind.
Lowry probably swings at that if it's 1-2, right?
At least is tempted to.
11 pitches, 6 strikes for Pagan. Needs to throw one here.
How much confidence he's got in that split, maybe for a double play ball. Challenged him with the heater.
3-2. Missed low. And it's a walk, and the tying run moves into scoring position. Just barely missed. Sanchez held it and now has some words with the home plate umpire Nestor Ceja.
The little pitch runner coming in for Lowry. This ball just down. Unfortunate that the second strike was missed. Changed the whole at bat. But as you mentioned when he came in, the walks have been a challenge.
McKinney to pinch run. And the batter, Sean Murphy. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Blocked by Sanchez. It is the 5th straight appearance where Pagan has walked at least one man. One and 0. Half swing. Ooh. No swing. 2-0.
I had him going there.
Yep. And there. But it's 2-0. And their first strike. Sixteen pitches, 8 strikes for Pagan. Speed on the bases with Noisy at first. McKinney at first, Noisy at second, and McKinney at first. Three and 1 with Murphy on deck. The hit by Noisy, just the 4th allowed by Pagan on the year. Then the walk backed it up and sent him to second base. Fouled back. Hefty cut by Murphy.
Challenged him with that 4-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour. Went right at him and said, here it is. See if you can hit it. He had a good healthy cut at it. This ball ran back towards the middle. He had thoughts of a 3-run homer there.
Sanchez blinked like he got away with one.
So he was a little late on that, though. He got that a little deep.
Breaking ball tapped up the line, foul. Another 3-2. Missed inside, and they're loaded up. Two more walks.
Well, he's wanting these close pitches, but they're just off. Unfortunately, both of these at-bats, a couple of calls could have gone the other way, completely swing the at-bats. A missed call to put the count to 2-1. It could have been 1-2. The missed call, the check swing. This ball a good 3-4 inches inside. Pagan wanted it. Now pretty big mess going on, but you're still only one pitch away. That's what you got to keep telling yourself. Just keep executing the next pitch. Wes on the bullpen phone getting somebody up down there.
Brown entered the game when Piscotty left the game after his second inning slide at home plate. The control issue's a new issue for Pagan in his career. It's never really been that big of a deal. About a walk every 4 innings coming into this season. But 2 more here in the 9th. In there, a strike. Brown 0 for 2. A swinging strikeout in the 4th and a fly ball to left. Corner infielders up. The force play at home might be the call here if either Urshela or Miranda get the ground ball. Dribbler. Here comes Miranda. Here's the throw home, and they got the out there. Good play by the rookie first baseman.
Well, good thing he was in at first base, as you pointed out. Corners were up, so he aggressively comes after this ball, and then Sanchez and Miranda both with an understanding this is a 1-out play with how soft this was hit. They make sure they get that run at home and not allow it to score. Little contact here. Sanchez looked back, but
no hurry on the play. You like to see that, right?
Yeah, and that's an understanding of how hard the ball is hit, what play is available. It's not a double play. Little contact there. Noisy turned to apologize to Sanchez, but maybe another pinch runner coming in this game.
Bethancourt will run for Murphy. So McKinney the runner at third, Bethancourt at second. Marcotte's exhausted his bench. The bases are still loaded, but now 2 are out.
Nice pitch.
On the outside edge, and he gets ahead. Pinder struck out twice swinging and hit a ground ball to second.
This is how you get ahead right here. Quality strike.
One.
But you see them being very disciplined. This is one of those ones where you're going through the scouting report, who you face in late in games, and you look at the high numbers of walks and you say, make him throw it over, make him give you something to hit.
On the outside edge, and Pinder slumps his shoulders.
Like he might have got a call right there, but finally catch a break in this inning. Now 1 pitch away from finishing this thing off.
It'll be the 26th pitch for Pagan. Smothered by Sanchez, and now it's 2-2. And it's got to happen here, right? You don't want it to go 3-2. Got a speedier runner at second with the pinch running move. You need to let anybody leave their bases earlier. Two to Pinder. Backhanded by Sanchez. Counts full. Bases full.
Oh, just a little maybe overthrow on this one. Tried to make sure he get him everything he had.
Yeah, why not? Plenty of mound visits left. talk it over.
Yeah, make sure they're on the same page. Make sure he's throwing something that he feels like he can get over, throw it with conviction.
Stashak warming up. Might be Pagan's last batter. He's hoping it's the game's last batter. Got him! Foul ball. No, it is strike 3. Sanchez with the tag, and the game is over.
Well, an all-around good team win right there. Wobbled a little bit at the end, but still hang on to win. We're able to execute a pitch right there. The meeting before the 3-2 pitch, they went out there, they got on the same page, and then he was able to get the strikeout when he needed it. A couple of big firsts in this game. A first major league game, first major league hit for Royce Lewis, first home run for Jose Miranda. And let's take another look at this strike 3 right here. Bases loaded, full count. And he went back to that split the same way he finished off that last game that he pitched on the road trip. And a lot of courage right there, but started in the zone. He threw it right where he wanted to. And you see the emotion right there. What a day.
How about this? Win number 16 for the Twins. It is their third 2-1 win of the season, and they didn't have even one of those last year. The homestand gets started on